The 2017 FIFA Confederations Cup kicks off this upcoming Saturday. This tournament will be held in Russia, who will also then host the 2018 World Cup. The Confederations Cup is sometimes called a dress rehearsal for the World Cup, and it's a very exciting tournament. It's an 18 tournament, and all 8 teams are very competitive, and it should be a lot of fun to watch. So now in this video, I'm going to give my predictions, and I'm also going to give a quick little preview of each team. And mostly in this video, I'm going to focus on the predictions, but I do like to look at each team as well. So the setup of this tournament is 2 groups of 4 teams. There's Group A and Group B. The top 2 teams from each group advance to the semifinals. And in Group A, we have Russia, New Zealand, Portugal, and Mexico. Russia is the host, as I mentioned. New Zealand is the winner from Oceania. Portugal was the winner of the 2016 European Championship, so they're the UEFA representative. And Mexico is the CONCACAF representative, and they're in this tournament because they won the 2015 Gold Cup and then defeated the United States in the in the Confederations Cup playoff. And that was because the U.S. had won the 2013 version of the Gold Cup. So that's our Group A here. Group B, we have Cameroon, the African representative from the CAF. We have Chile, who won the 2015 Copa America, and they also came back the following year and won the Copa America Centenario. But only the 2015 Copa America had the Confederations Cup spot on the line. Australia, who's the Asian representative, and then we have Germany, who they are from UEFA, but they are not. That is not why they're here. They're here because they are the defending World Cup champions. They won the 2014 World Cup held in Brazil. So that's your 8-team field, and that's how they're sorted into the 2 groups. Now I'm going to move on to my predictions, and we're going to look at how I think the group stage will play out. So my predicted standings for Group A is as this. In first place, I'm going to have Portugal. I really like this Portugal team right now. As I mentioned, they are still confident from winning the European Championships last summer. Cristiano Ronaldo, who's their leader, he plays for Real Madrid, and he's helped Real Madrid to win the last 2 UEFA Champions League titles. And Portugal also has a lot of young talent. They're not just Ronaldo. They have a great mix of young talent and experienced players, and they're going to be a serious threat in this tournament. So I'm going to have them winning Group A here. Then in second place in Group B, I'm going to have Russia. Russia's going to be very, very motivated to play in their home country. That's always a big deal for any country that's hosting a tournament like this. In terms of their squad, I do really like this Russian squad. They did not play particularly well in last summer's European Championships, but I think that they still have a very good side, and I think that they'll be a threat in this tournament. So now moving on to my predicted standings for Group B. I'm going to have Germany winning Group B. This is not the best German squad because of the fact that they've actually not included some of their best players. So some players like Thomas Müller, Mesut Ozil, Toni Kroos, Manuel Neuer, players like that actually are not listed on the Germany squad for this tournament. But this Germany squad should not be underestimated. They still have many, many good and talented players. And they also, as a squad, know how to win in tournaments like this. They've proven that before. And they also have a lot of young talent included on this squad. Maybe some players that are not as well known, but they'll be looking to make a name for themselves on the international stage. One player to look out for me is Julian Draxler, who I think is one of the best players in Europe. If he's in the lineup, I would keep an eye on him, but there's several others as well. And then in my predicted second place for Group B, I have Chile. This is a Chile team that's been playing so well lately. As I mentioned, the past 2 summers they've won a Copa America title, which, when you think about the depth of teams in South America, that's so impressive to do. They have a lot of players who are playing the best leagues in Europe. Alexis Sanchez has done so well for Arsenal the past few years, and they're going to be a serious threat for the third straight year in an international tournament. So now I'm going to move on to what I think the semifinals might look like. So in the top half of the bracket here, I believe it's going to play out like this. Portugal will be on the top after winning Group A, and then I think that they're going to be taking on Chile, who will be in that slot after finishing runners-up in Group B. In that first semifinal, I'm going to have Portugal advancing through to the final. As I mentioned, I really like this Portugal team. What's interesting is that in the group stage of the European Championships, they did not play particularly well at all, but they really turned it on once they got to the round of 16 and on through from there. And I think that they're going to be motivated, and I think that they have the talent to make it to the final. And then the bottom half, I predict that we're going to have an all-European matchup in what will be a really exciting and fun game between Germany and Russia. These are two great teams, and as I mentioned, they're both UEFA representatives, and I would love to see this matchup, actually. In the end, though, I'm going to have Germany advancing through to the final. I think that they might just have a little too much in the end. For Russia, if they were to get through to the semifinal, that would be great experience for them. Of course, they already have their spot booked for the World Cup next summer as the host, so they're going to want to really try to put their best foot forward here. But as I mentioned, I'm going to go with Germany here to advance to the final. So my predicted final for the 2017 Confederations Cup is Portugal v Germany, and in the final, I am going to have Portugal defeating Germany in what might be a slight upset here. I'm just, as I mentioned a few times, I do really like this Portugal team. They're a little bit unpredictable, but I think when they're playing their best, they're tough to beat. Right now, they're actually in second place in their World Cup qualifying group. They're 3 points behind Switzerland. So, unless they could turn that around, they'll be playing in a two-legged World Cup playoff to get into the World Cup. So this would be a good experience for them. And as I mentioned, it's not just Ronaldo. I think sometimes maybe people who follow it closely sometimes get that impression. But I think that they've got lots of other good players. For Germany, this would be a disappointing loss because they've actually never won the Confederations Cup, but they do have a few World Cup titles, of course. But I think that, I think one of the strategies behind leaving some of those players out of the squad is they want a year before the World Cup, they want to get some of these younger talented players experience of playing in an international tournament in case that they're going to need to be called upon to play significant roles in the World Cup next summer. I think that Jogi Löw and the German coaching staff, I think that that's part of their game plan here. So that's my predicted final, Portugal v Germany, and I have Portugal as the winner of the 2017 Confederations Cup. So I hope you enjoy the tournament. It starts very soon, and so definitely enjoy it. We're going to have some great games, and thank you very much for watching this video. Talk soon.